they were come from Bethany, he was hungry. You mean Jesus get hungry too? And seen a fig tree afar off having leaves. He came, if happily he might find anything thereon. And when he came to it, he found nothing but leaves. For the time of figs was not yet. Let me just stop here for a minute and say to you that there will be a first crop when the leaves come out. And that's why I cursed the tree, because the tree didn't bear, okay? And Jesus answered and said unto it, no man eat of thee hereafter forever. And disciples heard it. Everybody say disciples heard it.
His disciples heard it.
And they come to Jerusalem, and Jesus went into the temple, because cast out them that sold and brought in the temple, and overthrow the tables of the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves. You all know that story, so I'm not going to talk about that story. Let's go to 20, verse 20. And in the morning, as they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up in the morning, from the root. And Peter called in to remembrance, said unto him, Master, behold the fig tree which thou cursest is withered away. And Jesus answered and said unto them, have faith in God. For verily I say unto you, that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be cast into the sea, and shall not doubt. Everybody say, shall not doubt. In his heart. And shall not doubt in his heart. I say, shall not doubt in his heart. I say, God work from the heart. If you doubt in your heart, He can't work with you. But shall believe that those things which He said shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever He said. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye shall receive them, and ye shall have them. Last Saturday night, my wife tried to bake something in the oven, and the oven catch a fire. So I take it apart and put it back together, and it still catch a fire again. We decided so we don't want it. We're not going to give it to nobody because it may happen to them too. Amen. So she said, let's go get a oven, a stove. Went into the place. Look at one. Selling for about $800. She said, I like that one. Call the people and say, we want this one. My young man said, right up and say, hey, you're going to get it for half price today.
Beautiful. Favor.
Whatever you say in your heart, believe it. Because we know that God is able.
Amen.
Praise the Lord. Mountain moving faith.
Amen. That's right.
We know that God is always right.
Amen.
And upon His word.
Yes, sir.
Listen. I'm trying to fix my teeth that I can smile, okay? And I went to the dentist and they take out the two back one. And it says, Pastor, then we have a favor for pastors. So today I'm going to take $500 off it.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
I praise the Lord. Let me go on before it.
Thank you, Lord.
Wow.
A friend of mine, I was doing a wedding one day, and a friend of mine was there and says, come sit with us, man. I said, no, man, the pastor sit here. I said, come and sit with us. So he came by and he sit there and he saw, they bring the food over, and everybody else in the line. He said, man, from now on, anywhere you're there, come sit with us. That's favor.
Yes, sir.
That's favor. I know that God is always right. And upon knowing this, if you really believe that, you know you can do all things through Christ, will strengthen us. Christ will give you the strength to know the truth and be made free.
That's his word.
God give us free access to Him,
Yes, sir.
to Himself, by the faith that He gave us.
Amen. Yes, sir.
That is great.
One song to only believe all things are possible.
Possible.
Everybody say, only believe all things are possible. Alright, so now you know how faith works. What are you going to do about it? Now that we see the way God acknowledge faith. Because you can't please Him without faith. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with what you hear today? Now that you know the power of faith, what are you going to do with it? You know, some years ago, there was a come out. Now that we have law, what are you going to do with it? Anybody ever hear before? It so happened that my cousin have something to do with that. You know, he in the band just sing it. Third word. Alright, praise the Lord. Dillon come from a musical family. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. So now that you know the power of faith, what are you going to do with it? Because God said, that's the only way you can please me. You can't please me no other way but by faith.
Live in it.
Praise the Lord. Faith is the manifestation of what you ask for. And it brings what you ask for to reality.
Praise the Lord.
Well, so who can bring it to you? Because over the vehicle that carry your blessings to you. Faith is a substance of things hoped for. Substance of faith bring what you ask for into reality. Faith is essential nature. It is real. Even though you can't see it. It is real. So now we come to the third action of faith, where we call to hark upon God's word. Everybody say, have faith in God.
Have faith in God.
Have faith in God's word. For God's word to work, we got to speak it by faith.
That's right.
You still here?
Yes.
You got to believe that it works and call upon God.
Amen.
In John chapter 15 verse 7, praise the Lord, it says, if you abide in me, and my words abide in you, you shall ask what you will, as we done unto you. Huh? Tell the neighbor, say, neighbor, you must use God's word back to him. There is only one way to please God, and to use his word by faith.
Yes, sir.
But without faith it is impossible to please him, for he that cometh to God must believe that he is God, and that is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So for faith to work, you got to know that God is able to make all things come to pass.
Amen. That's it. That's the key. Yes.
You got to know that every word, everything that God says,
That's right.
will come to pass. Because God says it. And God says you need to believe it.
He is God, sir.
And the second matter, I just love to read 1 Corinthians 15:58. I just love it. It says, therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as He knows, for as much as you know,
As much as He knows. Yes.
that your labor is not in vain. Our word don't mean squat. But God's word will see to that it perform what it says.
Hallelujah.
So don't use your own word. Use God's word. Because God's word works. Believe me, it works. Oh gosh, you're not believing it. Believe God when He says something. He's able to bring it to pass. He can't lie. If you really know that, then you will trust Him. And don't trust yourself or your pastor.
All right now, trust God.
But trust God.
All right now. Amen.
Jeremiah 1:12. Then said the Lord unto me, thou wast well seen, for I will hasten my word to perform it. When you see that God is able to do all things, then you will understand that God will hasten His word just for you. He will perform for you what He says. Praise the Lord. Once it goes out by faith, it must work. Oh God.
Yes.
I said, once the word goes out, it must work. If you abide in me, and my word abide in you, you shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. This is not foreign language. So you can understand.
Yes, sir. Understand it. Yes.
So the third lesson of essential faith is to act on God's word. It doesn't matter what nobody says. You not God's word work. Act on it.
Yes.
Praise the Lord.
Praise God. Amen.
Praise the Lord.
Praise God. Act on it. Yes.
You don't listen. And Jesus answered and said, have faith in God.
Yes, have faith in God.
And Jesus answered and said to His disciples, have faith in God. And it is translated, have the God kind of faith.
Yes. All right.
So as children of God, our way of life must be centered on God's word 110%.
That's right now. Amen. 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 Yes.
We must use His faith, the faith He invested in us.
Come on. That's right.
We must have total trust in God's word by faith.
Amen. Yes.
We must have total dependency on God's word.
That's right now. Yes. Total.
God's word must be the direction by which we go.
Amen. Hallelujah. Yes, sir.
He must be our watchword and our song.
Amen. Yes.
Listen, some of you know this more than more than me. That when you sing and work, you do better work.
That's right. That's right.
So let God's word be your watchword and song.
Hey, come on, Pastor. Yes, sir. I know it works. Yes, it works.
When you start to sing,
Yes.
love lifted me
Yes, sir.
But I gotta change it and say, love, make me free.
That's right.
Come on, somebody. Love, make me free. When nothing else could help, love, make me free. Love, make me free. Love, make me free. When nothing else could help, love, make free. Glory. Glory. So God's word must be the direction we go.
Amen.
And I say it must be our watchword and our song. God's word must be a lamp unto our feet and a light unto our path. God's word must be our guiding light. God's word must be the center of our joy. I don't know why this keep bugging me. God must be our guiding light.
Guide the wise man.
And I always tell redemption with young people,
Star guide the wise man.
when your boyfriend says coming over tonight, bring his Bible. So bring your Bible when you're coming. Because that thing we used to do, we don't do no more. Bring your Bible. We are going to a new avenue tonight.